where he mentioned on the day of Qiyamah there will be shades, but those shades are not for everyone, are for 7 groups of people, isn't it? The first one, Rasulullah said, Imamun Adil, a just leader. Any leader, whether the leader of the community or corporate world, so long as you are a true believer and you are a just leader, you will be provided with a shade on the day of Qiyamah. That's not part of my deed. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بفضل بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين الذي سمي في السماء بأحمد وفي الأراضين بأبي القاسم المصطفى محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأجل فرجهم طب القلوب ودوائها ونور أبصارها وعلى أهل بيته الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا قال الله عز وجل في كتابه الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم صلوات اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد For the love of Imam Hassan al-Mushtaba, with the loudest of our voices, sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. For the love of Imam Sahib al-Asr wa zaman, sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Once again, we thank Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us this moment and this opportunity tonight, being the 15th night of the holy month of Ramadan, and to celebrate the arrival of Imam Hassan al-Mushtaba to this world, our beloved second Imam. Kindly, brothers and sisters, allow me to first and foremost express my felicitation to the Imam of our time on this auspicious occasion, and secondly, to extend my felicitation to our Hawzat al-Ilmiyah and our scholars, our marajih, those great personalities who try their level best every day and night to give service to humanity in general and to Islam in particular. And the third felicitation to each and every one of you, lovers and followers of Ahlul Bayt, on the birth anniversary of our beloved second Imam. Inshallah, what I want to discuss tonight with you, mu'mineen and mu'minat, first part is to look at the life of Imam Hassan alayhi salam and to take at least a lesson from his life. And then secondly, some few words of advice on how we as youth can maximize the opportunities given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reach the climax of whatever we aspire to achieve or pursue in our lives. See, Imam Hassan alayhi salam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. We often don't hear much about him like the way we hear about some of our beloved Imams. So what I want to do, inshallah, is to speak about his life in two simple ways. The first way is to look at our needs as human beings to social status. And then the second point where I will indicate to what I'm trying to put across is to ask a question. Is it allowed in Islam for one to sacrifice his or her social status? If yes, how? Under what condition? And if no, why? Then we'll understand the role that Imam Hassan alayhi salam played in ensuring that the nur of Allah remain until the uprising of Abu Abdullah. No doubt, without the role of Imam al-Hassan, things were not going to be easy for Abu Abdullah. He paved the way for Abu Abdullah alayhi salam. So it is important we understand the role he played and appreciate the role he played and honor him and try to find opportunities to visit him in the holy city of Medina. Now you see, our imams, they have different titles. So one of the common title of Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba is Karimu Ahlil Bayt. Karim from Karam, meaning the generous of Ahlul Bayt. Now question, why is Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba refers to as Karim Ahlul Bayt? Here, kindly pay attention, mu'minin and mu'minat. Is it because Imam Hassan used to give people a lot of money? Or is it because he used to carry a lot of food and distribute to people in Medina? Or is it because he used to sacrifice his valuables for the sake of people? Or no? Why is he called Karimu Ahlul Bayt? Now you take yourself, or assuming myself, if you give somebody money or clothes, whatever, you just take and give someone. By virtue of giving that person, can you be called generous or not? Here there is something I want to draw your attention to. If I give you something and you deserve it, I'm not generous. And if I give you something and you don't deserve it, it's israf and I'll be punished for it. I'm trying to get the ayah number, it's not coming. But inshallah, maybe I'll get it later. Allah in Quran is saying, وَفِي أَمْوَالِهِمْ حَقٌّ لِلسَّائِلِ وَالْمَحْرُومِ. He said, in their wealth, there is the right of the one who asks them and the right of the one who does not ask them on account of his own honor and dignity. So if I give you something and you deserve it, I'm doing nothing really. It's not generosity. This is good. But it is your right because you deserve it. And of course, if you don't deserve it, then it's haram. So Imam Hassan is titled Karimu Ahlil Bayt. If we say it's because Imam used to give people things, but the answer will be Imam wouldn't give something to people who did not deserve. So we cannot say he's generous of Ahlil Bayt because he's giving people something. There is a reason for that. So what I want us to note here is what? When you give somebody something, you'll be rewarded. That is the right of the person. That you are giving. Our Imams, Imam al-Baqir has got a title, Baqir. Bakara al-ilma bakara, for instance. Who would split knowledge naked? So it's referred to Baqir. Now look at why is he called the generous of Ahlul Bayt. And there is a beautiful lesson for all of us to take home tonight. First, as I said, our need for social status. See, every human being is at least in need of three things. At least. You cannot have insan without him looking for these three things. First one, al-haja ila al-amni nafsi. Need for peace of mind. There is no human being who is not in need of peace of mind. It's a natural need. It's a natural thing. The second need is what? Al-hajatu ila al-intima. Every human being is in need of a sense of belonging. You need to belong to a certain kabila, tribe. You need to belong to a certain nation. You need to belong to a certain community. It is haja fitriya asasiya. It is a natural need that you have to belong somewhere. When someone is stateless, it's because of certain reason. Otherwise, it is the need of every human being to belong to somewhere. It's either you belong here or you belong somewhere. And the third need, which is the focus of tonight's discourse, al-haja ila al-mawki' al-ijtima'i. Our need to social status. You can tell me, no, me, taqwa, this, you don't need social status. It's a lie. Every person is in need of some sort of social status. Your sharm, your dignity, your honor in the community, at work, at school. You need some sort of respect. You need some sort of honor. That is a natural need. Now question. Are we allowed Islamically to sacrifice our social status or not? What is to sacrifice your social status? To somewhat become a laughing stock. To be ridiculed. To be undermined. To be marginalized, to be pushed away, and you do nothing. That is sacrificing social status. Now let's go fiqh. In fiqh, primarily, we are not allowed to sacrifice our social status. And I'll give you a typical example. We are not allowed. In other words, in fiqh, you cannot make yourself a laughing stock. You cannot make yourself a place where refugees are dumped. You become this one, pull you that way, that one, pull you that way. In fiqh, you are not allowed to do that. And in fiqh, they discuss the difference between haqq and hukm. Right and law. They say right is connected with personal well-being. But hukum law is connected with society and community well-being. Example. If you owe me money or I owe you money, you can let go because it's your haqq. But you can't backbite and gossip about me. It is hukm. Why? Because it has not to do only with me, it has to do with the entire society. Because if backbiting, gossip, undermining, laughing at people is allowed to be done at one person, then lies will spread in the community and it will destroy the community. The social status. But now the question is there anywhere or times when Islam allow us to sacrifice our social status? I said yes. And that is what I'm looking for. People may laugh. Let them laugh. You may be ridiculed. Let them. But when is that? When it is for the well-being of a society. And I'm going to give you examples of the lives of Ahlul Bayt, but most especially the life of Imam Hassan. If you are to sacrifice your social status, your social honor, not for your own sake, but for the growth of the community, it is allowed. You see what Amir al-Mu'minin said? La usalimanna ma salimat umurul muslimin. Imam Ali said, I will make peace so long as the affairs of the ummah will be at peace. That's why Imam Ali, alayhi salam, did not go out fighting when his right was taken away from him. Yes, he taught Islam, he corrected mistakes, but Amir al-Mu'minin did not go out fighting. Sa'usalimanna ma salimat umurul muslimin. I will be at peace so long as the affairs of the ummah is at peace. It's growing, it's going very well, there is no problem. Wallah, I tell you, mu'minin and mu'minat, we sometimes don't do justice to the personality of Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba alayhi salam. You know what Imam Hassan did? He sacrificed his social status for the sake of ummah. Otherwise, Karbala was not going to happen. Otherwise, we are not going to sit here. What was the social status that Imam Hassan sacrificed? The sulh, the treaty. You know about the treaty. I'm not going to talk about the treaty. He agreed in those terms and conditions. But Imam Hassan knew, by agreeing with Muawiyah, people were going to laugh at him. Some would come to him and said, Assalamu alayka ya mudhill al-mu'minin. They will say, Salamu alayk, or the miserable of all the believers. Some would even say, Laytaka mitta qabla an tubai'a Muawiyah. It could have been better if you died before paying allegiance to Muawiyah. Then they will say, because the people of Muawiyah, they came and went back happy the way they wished. But we came and went back very sad. He sacrificed his social status for the affairs of Ummah. It is not less than what Abu Abdullah stood for in Karbala. It's not less. Because to sacrifice your social status is not a joke. You come, this one put you left, right. But you said, because of the community, because of the affairs of the Ummah, I will remain calm and I will not shout. It's not easy. But that's exactly what Imam Hassan did. And that is why, if you look at his statement and that of Abu Abdullah, they all refer to one thing. You know the famous statement of Abu Abdullah? Inni lam akhruju asharan wala bataran wala mufsidan wala riya'an. He said, innama kharajtu li talabil islah fi ummati jaddi. You know it. I'm out seeking reformation. What did Imam Hassan say? Abu Abdullah said, reformation among the ummah. Imam Hassan the same thing said the affair that I and Muawiyah differ in belong to me, but I leave it for the reformation of the ummah. so that no one's blood is shed. Islah. So therefore in Islam, we are allowed to sacrifice our social status for the general well-being of the ummah. Someone will ask a question. Why did Imam Hassan do that? So Imam Hassan had three choices to exercise. One choice was to fight until he killed everyone. The second choice he had was fight until he became shaheed. And the third choice was peace treaty. And he decided to go for the third choice. You know why? Read about his life. You will see what Imam Hassan alayhi salam faced. You know, sometimes not somebody far destroys you. The one sitting next to you destroy you. Somebody you're looking for the enemy somewhere. That person who opened the mouth laughing with you, he's destroying you. Imam Hassan alayhi salam, that's what happened. Number one, Imam Hassan had 20,000 companions or soldiers, if you like. And the enemies had 60 to 68,000. That's one. And before then, by the way, Amir al-Mu'minin already said it. During the last part of his life. He said, time has come when people of fadila and people of consciousness and people of intellect are no more there. He said, time has come when what we see is people preaching virtues and practicing vice. Imam Ali said it before he left this world. So you realize that some of those who were following Imam Ali, the moment Imam Hassan came, they stood away. Hypocrisy is ummul khaba'ith. They sit, laugh, behind you, stab you. That's what happened during the time of Imam Hassan alayhi salam. So 20,000, 80,000. Look at the second challenge. Ubaydullah ibn Abbas was like the first Qa'id, the first leader from the camp of Imam Hassan. Imam Hassan sent him. The enemies lured him. Narration says 1 million dirham. And he took 8,000 of the companions of Imam Hassan, and they all went and joined the enemies. 8,000, all of them went. Baba. Now 20,000, 8,000 gone. How many left? The one next to you is the one who kills you. The second one is Qais ibn Sa'ad. He was like the second Qa'id. Rumor spread that Qais was killed. And people stood up against Imam Hassan. Why Qais was killed? And they began to run away from Imam Hassan again. So Imam had no choice but to expose the hypocrisy of Banu Umayyah. You see, if you want to expose hypocrites, you don't fight. You don't fight hypocrites. What you do with hypocrites is to agree on terms and conditions with hypocrites. See if he means business or not, or he's just talking. The other challenge of Imam Hassan was what? They plotted to attack Imam Hassan. And Khawarij, you know, Khawarij beginning, they came with condition, we'll make bay'ah, but condition. Imam Hassan said, no, I'm not going to do that bay'ah with condition. They made bay'ah, but then eventually they turned against Imam. Completely they turned against Imam Hassan alayhi salam. And they try to attack and kill Imam Hassan alayhi salam. To such an extent, one narration mentioned Imam Hassan will be like in prayers. There was a time he was in prayer, he was attacked there. And you know what happened, and he left this one. What I'm trying to say is that if you examine the camp of Imam Hassan, you'll have the following. Number one, jawasis, spies. People who were not with him, but they were always there, claiming to be with him. They were just getting information. They were informants, and they were informing the enemies. And then there were a second group within Imam. They were sitting around and they were shakakin. They did not believe in Imam Hassan. They didn't trust. They had their own doubts. But they were there. But they had their own that they will not come and tell you. They laugh with you. They eat with you. But what is inside is inside. And the third one, of course, was the Khawarij themselves. Khawarij, they were la ilaha illa wa la ilaha illa. That was the situation of Imam Hassan alayhi salatu wasalam. And then, of course, we've got the fourth one, the real companions of Imam Hassan alayhi salam. And they were very few in number. So therefore, Imam Hassan, being a Ma'soom, son of Ma'soom and Ma'sooma, realized that the only way to maintain the dignity and honor of Islam is to go into peace treaty, like the way Rasulullah entered into the Sulhul Hudaybiyah with Quraysh. And Quraysh eventually, they did not also live up to expectation. And so therefore, mu'minin, one of the way to sacrifice in life and to feel that you have sacrificed is when your social status clash with the general welfare of the ummah. Will you be selfish there? What will you do? I leave that with you. You decide. It's not easy. So understand the maqam of Imam Hassan. His maqam was higher. Wallah, if he hadn't done that, what was going to happen afterwards was not going to be easy. And lastly, as I said, youth. Last night I mentioned, and the good thing is Imam Hassan and Hussein, we know very well, Sayyid Shababi, Ahlil Jannah. Leaders of the youth of paradise. Last night I made it very clear in my talk. If you look at our communities, there is serious disintegration between young and old. The gap is widening day by day. And I advise humbly that we need to come up with programs as communities to bridge this gap. And I said, the experience of an elderly person cannot be bought with money. You need to go for it. You see, brothers, the youngsters, you have elders in the community who have experience. Learn from them. That's the sunnah of Rasulullah. Learn their experience. Why not sometimes in our programs, we invite some of our elders to share their experience with us as a community spirit. Or sometimes have program where you sit together, you talk together, you gel together. And as I said, the elders also, you need the strength of the young ones. Now what I'm going to talk is very simple, briefly. And this is based on the traditions of Ahlul Bayt. You see, youth, some said, of course, from 13 to 40 or 39, whatever. You are the current and the future leaders of our communities. But being current and future leader come with its own package and requirements. If you are youth and you don't strive to achieve that, you are wasting your time. Youthfulness is precious. You build your life at this age. You waste it, you will never be able to replace it. How do you make good use of it? As they said, a youth, psychologically, is someone who is creative and productive, isn't it? You cannot be a youth or claim to be if you are not creative and productive. And mind you, you cannot be creative and productive properly if there is no knowledge. Our youth are relaxed when it comes to knowledge. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. You see, if Imam mentioned our Shia, wherever they are the highlight of that place. In terms of knowledge, in terms of honor, in terms of dignity. What I'm trying to arrive at is what? We have a challenge as youths to take our knowledge to next level. If you are in business, take it to the next level. If you are academic, don't settle with bachelor's degree if you've got the means to go. Imam al-Zaman needs business people of high level, academics of high level. Whatever you do, of high level. I'm passionate about this. Your religious knowledge, take it to high level. Western knowledge, take it to high level. That is a true youth of Shia. But if youth of Shia, you relax, and you settle with little knowledge that you have, then you are not preparing for the coming of Imam al-Zaman. I mentioned last night, our fathers, they've done well. They brought us to where we are. We need to appreciate them. Many communities don't have the fathers like this who would set up everything for them, by the way. But to appreciate it, that is my calling and that is my passion these days. That I encourage youth, take your knowledge to the highest level if you can. If you can't, if you are in business, whatever, take it to the highest level. Because your Iman, being at that level, will help prepare for the reappearance of Imam of our time. Because those we have today, professors, intellectual, most of them, they are half-baked, half-cooked when it comes to religious matters. If you are scientists, take it to the next level. Community, if you spot a boy or a girl in this community, I'm talking to all of you, those who are well-to-do, and you realize that that boy or that girl is capable of taking the knowledge to the highest level, join your hands together. Please, I beg you, sponsor that boy, sponsor that girl. Let the person go anywhere in this world to acquire that knowledge, because that is the lava of Imam Sahib al-Amr al-Zaman. Gone are those days when bachelor's degree is something, it's nothing. Now, nothing. Masters today is becoming nothing. So two ways. You are in business. You are in academic study. Whatever you do, don't settle with less. Do it the high way. And parent of young boys and girls here, aim high. Shi'ani Ali must aim high. Baba, look at Najul Balaga. That's Imam Ali for you. We can't settle for less. That is the meaning of being a true Shia. And by the way, learning to the highest level is not for the sake of making money. It's for the sake of changing lives. Online, subscribe, register online, study. But as you do that, don't forget the teachings of Islam. Learn Islam also. Today online, you can have access to institutions that we can all learn. So therefore, remember this. A youth is someone who is productive or creative. If you are not creative and productive, then you cannot call yourself youth. And lastly, you know Imam Al-Baqir, salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Muhammad. You know Imam Al-Baqir is reported to have said, if you find our youth who is not serious, bring that youth to me, I will discipline him. I will discipline that youth. And Imam Jafar said, wherever you go, when people ask questions about you, let the answer about you be something good. Because if it is good, then that makes me happy. But if the answer is negative, it's bad. So therefore, take education very serious. The challenge of this world is mindsets. Wallahi, take education very serious. And parent, if Allah has blessed you, aim high. Take your children very high to the next level. Where he mentioned, on the day of Qiyamah, there will be shades. But those shades are not for everyone, are for 7 groups of people, isn't it? The first one, Rasulullah said, Imamun Adil, a just leader. Any leader, whether the leader of the community or corporate world, so long as you are a true believer and you are a just leader, you will be provided with a shade on the day of Qiyamah. That's not part of my